Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yes, we are here to discuss the IPL. You'd be wondering, wait, didn't the IPL end yesterday?
It should have.
It should have. But no, the weather gods wanted one more day. And now from Ahmedabad, the rain has come here in Delhi NCR.
Yeah.
And
Not
we are
complaining about that at the very least.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the match is not happening in Delhi NCR. It's happening at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. Yesterday's rain was the worst that I've ever seen in the month of May in Ahmedabad. And all the times that I've been there in the past, I've never seen rain of that intensity for Shane, me and Gargi, we will all answer these questions. But there is one particular question, there's one particular visual that was going around in social media, okay? 2019 ODI World Cup. MS Dhoni semi-final match went into the reserve day.
Yeah.
What happened? It was MS Dhoni's last international match.
Yes.
IPL 2023 went into the reserve day. Is it going to be his last IPL game? What do you guys think? Starting with you, Gargi.
I think MS Dhoni has clarified more than enough now that he hasn't made up his mind and that he has 8 to 9 months more to choose, what he wants to do in the future. And I think his mind is very much not made up right now. I believe so. And from an outside perspective, it still looks as if he hasn't made up his mind because there would be some sign, something. Of course, the injury is a big concern, but that's something that he can recover from. I mean, he has months to recover from it. And let's see what happens.
Yep, and Dr. Saif on Sports Talk also mentioned yesterday that it is a recoverable injury. So because it is not a muscle tear or any of that kind, that is why it is going to be a very, very important point that is there. So, Shane, what about you? Final game or 2024?
The thing with MS Dhoni is you never really know. I think, this is just my personal opinion, I think you'll see him back next year. But again, as we've mentioned many times, Gargi mentioned right now, I don't think he's thought of that just yet. I think he's going to wait for a while. He's going to see how he feels. If he feels, and how he feels can change. What if he feels after the final that, this is it, this is the pinnacle if they win. Then he says, okay, this is it, I'm done. And then again, you're starting from scratch next year if you're a CSK fan, if you're the franchise. All of that. But beyond that, I don't think he's really made a call yet. Although I do feel, my gut feeling says, and I've been wrong before because I remember predicting last year that Jadeja wouldn't play another game for CSK. Although that might be true next year. Who really knows?
Who really knows? But yesterday, before I get into the main, the topic on the rain and all the other playing conditions, there was one thing which really saddened me yesterday. You saw a visual of Chennai Super Kings, most of the supporters sleeping on the platforms at Ahmedabad. Then you saw people walking for close to 3 to 4 kilometers in the flooded lanes just to get to public transport.
Yeah.
And on top of that, because as pointed out that the Narendra Modi Stadium, unfortunately, wherever you have to go back and back and back. You will get drenched, and there was one very heartbreaking sight of a lone CSK fan just waiting just waiting for the rain to end. Do you think the situation could have been managed a little better? And remember, today horror stories have emerged that people, they are scrambling to ensure that the hotels that they booked, it's advanced by a day. Flight tickets, can you believe it? From this particular corridor, it used to cost 5,000 rupees. Now these flights are charging 28,000. Chennai to Ahmedabad. Do you think this is the logistical nightmare that makes us want to feel, we shouldn't be near an Indian stadium? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be such a happy day and then it kind of turned into such a sad state of affairs. And I completely understand the pain of fans right now who were there physically and especially the people that traveled out of the city and to come and watch the match. But that was really sad what happened, and it was just something that was out of everyone's control. What the least we could do was damage control. The maximum we could do was damage control, and really what can you expect because there was such a large crowd, and I mean it's just really, really sad.
As a fan, would you feel short-charged?
I mean, of course, but then I'd also have to understand that this is not something that cannot be that can be controlled. Weather can't be controlled. But then, of course, they have rescheduled the match and they have allowed re-entry from the same tickets. I think that's the most they can do at this point, and they have done it.
Yep.
No, I agree with her your point. See, there's nothing much you can do about the weather or stuff like that. But I think when it comes to the stadium experience in general in this country, I've heard far too many complaints
Right.
from people across the country. Like, it's not limited to one or two areas. It's a consistent complaint that either entering stadiums can be a pain, getting tickets can be a pain, getting food, clean bathrooms, all of these kind of things can be a real pain. So I think whilst India does have a cricket crazy fan base, I think stadium experiences are something that overall, and truth be told, stadium experience includes a contingency plan for something like this. You, as a tournament organizers, you need to be a little more understanding of the situation, try and ensure that people get out if they have to in a more orderly manner. And I can understand panic spreading. It's a big crowd.
Yes.
You don't want to be caught up, especially once you know the match is done. But truth be told, I think, the situation could have been managed better. And the fact that, unfortunately, people are making money off of this chaos, it's very, very sad.
It is sad, but remember, most of the stadiums are now having an infrastructure boost for the World Cup. And that is the reason why we hope that the facilities are better. But now, coming to the main point today.
Yeah.
Rain destroyed Sunday.
Yeah.
Today, Tejas is one of the first who's asking us, what is the weather?
Man alive, that's a very tough question to answer.
Okay, so according to various weather channels, okay, whether you want to depend on one particular channel or another one, the current situation is clear. It is clear forecast now, but from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., there is a chance of 30% intermittent showers.
Yes.
And remember, yesterday also the weather forecast had said 30%.
Yes, exactly.
We thought that, okay, maybe it might just skirt through. But you saw the intensity with which it poured. And remember, there is a particular trough that is running from Mehsana all the way that is ensuring that this rains remain sustained. So today the weather forecast, Tejas, unfortunately, is that 8 to 11. There is going to be intermittent showers, 30% is the rate.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday when we came in and we were all excited for the final, of course. And the first thing we did as soon as we came into the office is check the weather. And at that time, I think it said 30 to 40% as well. But then as the day progressed, it just got worse and worse. And at one point, it got 60. And right before the match was about to start, it started raining.
Yeah.
We just hope that doesn't happen today.
Yep, and yes, Prashant, like you're pointing out, Manoj, yes, poor Manoj, he was totally drenched and he tried getting shelter near those pillars that are there, the metro pillars that are there. It still didn't work because the lightning was intense, the rain was intense. The wind was intense, and and you could see it was like a sheet layer of rain that you could see at the Narendra Modi Stadium, and puddles were absolutely, they were just forming. It was like a lake Motera, like they would have said it at that time. So that is the rain that is going to be there today. Unfortunately, it may not stay away. We hope. I say may because we have had unpredictable weather throughout India this May. I mean, can you believe it? There was a cold breeze when we entered.
Yes.
This is May in Delhi NCR.
And by the way, this cold breeze doesn't refer to the air conditioners.
Outside.
Outside. It's as if we're in the middle of monsoon, because when I left my house, it was pouring.
Exactly. And remember, there was a first week of May. No one used to put the fan because it was very, very cold. And memes would say, is this Delhi? This is Delhi in May, no fan.
Yeah.
This is very unseasonal weather that we have got. So we are just hoping rain may stay away. But I don't think this is going to happen.
Yes.
And don't forget, if you're asking about rain, if it does rain today, we know who the champions are going to be.
Yes.
We'll come to that a bit later. So,
but I also think there are, a lot of people are saying a lot of different things, but I'm not ruling out rain for today.
No, definitely not.
absolutely. Yeah, we are all not. We hope it stays away.
Yeah, fingers crossed at this point, fingers and everything else.
Yes, because again, 8 to 11, 30% chances of rain.
In fact, you're talking about rain. We're getting comments saying this is raining not just in Maharashtra, but although, to be fair, this is seasonal, but in Bangalore also, where of course it's also kind of seasonal.
Yeah, because this will be the time of the pre-monsoon showers, and they were anyway saying monsoon will be late. But these pre-monsoon showers are really, really going to... It's really early. So Priyanshu Parekh is like, is this Dhoni's last? We did touch upon that, Priyanshu, just before the start of the rain discussion, that... I personally think that this isn't MS Dhoni's last
I think
season.
none of us do at this
No.
point.
Yeah.
But do you ever really know anything with MS?
As we have mentioned in the past, even Gargi, Shane, Nikhil have pointed out in the past. MS Dhoni only knows what MS Dhoni is doing.
Exactly.
Yes.
No one can ever figure out what is there, because Test cricket, Melbourne Test ended.
Out of
Suddenly
nowhere.
in this thing he said, okay, I'm announcing my retirement. 2020 August 15th at 1929.
Came after 1 year of him
1
playing his
year.
last match, by the
Yeah.
way. More than one.
More
yeah?
than 1 year.
So again, you never really know what's going through his mind. Although I think a lot of us had predicted at that point that he wasn't coming back.
Yep. Career started with a run out and ended with a
with
run out.
one.
That's the divine providence or the full circle that you may say
Yeah.
of MS Dhoni.
Career.
Yep, indeed. Divyansh Devgan is asking, what's your view on Moeen Ali's performance this season? As a CSK fan, I will just say it's been very underwhelming.
Yeah.
With the bat, absolutely underwhelming. But with the ball, he's had some moments of brilliance. But I think today in the final, if he doesn't perform, CSK are really going to be underwhelming. Because you bought in Moeen Ali for the shock value with his bat. You bought him for the skills that he offers with the ball. With the ball, 1 or 2 times he is done well. With the bat, frankly, he's been underwhelming.
But the bat, really, I think the last good season he had was 21.
Yes.
Because he'd come in as like a floater, play some aggressive knocks, and he wasn't like among the top run getters or anything like that, but impetus he gave.
Yeah.
That has been lacking significantly in 22 and 23 now. So that's been 2 years of him not performing really at his best. So I think, yeah, he's been underwhelming for sure. Then again, that can be said about quite a few other batsmen, even the likes of Raidu haven't really performed.
Yeah. And anyway, this is Raidu's last match, if it happens.
Yes.
So, Yug Parmar is like asking, Yug
Very
Parmar,
interesting
one of
question.
our regular family members, he's
Yeah.
like asking, will closing ceremony take place today?
If the rain permits, yes, I think it will.
It will.
When was the last time there was a closing ceremony?
There was one last year, if I'm not wrong.
There's always a closing ceremony.
No, they had abandoned it in between.
After,
Yeah.
after the Pulwama, this thing, they had abandoned it from 2019 onwards. But was there?
Last year there was one I remember.
I remember
clearly.
opening ceremony was not
See,
held, but a closing was.
Yes,
Yeah.
this year opening has been held, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a closing also if weather permits.
Maybe it'll depend upon the weather. Supposing if you have to play a 5-over game, then I think it'll be very difficult to have a
Not
closing
a chance.
ceremony.
Yeah.
But by the way, talking about predictions and all, Berlin Tokyo. This is a very interesting screen name, by the way, because I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
won't be a real name. But says that Moeen Ali is his pick today for man of the match if it happens. Oof.
Sure, Berlin, Tokyo. We will remember the name because Moeen Ali, man of the match. That'll be good if that happens.
Yeah.
He'll be like Shane Watson, underwhelms throughout the league series, but has his great day in the final. And of course, Berlin Tokyo, to back up your thing, even Sunil Gavaskar.
Yes.
He picked Moeen Ali as the impact player and the one to watch out for in the final when he had a interview with Nikhil at this point in time. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
on the
mean-
channel. You can check it out.
Yeah,
Carry on.
I mean, a lot of CSK fans will be hoping for Moeen Ali, to kind of get his horses going because we've seen a lot of performances, and I think Moeen Ali at this point is the most underwhelming player in the squad right now.
Yep.
If he fires, we've got a complete package.
Yes, and remember, Shivam Dubey also failed, and it was thanks to the lower order that we somehow
Yes.
got to some good totals. So, okay, who to make captain today in fantasy? Yug Parmar.
I think the best safe choice would always be go for an all-rounder.
Yeah.
You can get maximum return.
I
That's
would
normally
say
what
make
do.
Shubman Gill.
Actually, Gill wouldn't be the worst shout in the world.
Yeah.
The kind of
Make
purple
it
patch
Shubman
he's in.
Gill. Yeah.
Or Ritu. Ritu could be a vice captain.
I would
Ritu could be a vice captain.
Yeah.
Why not?
I would say also, apart from the Gujarat Titans, apart from Gill, who else been performing?
Rashid would be another good
Rashid
pick.
would be a good pick.
Because again,
Shami.
Mohit, yeah, Shami, of course. See, they have bowling options. You're definitely, covered as far as how the GT guys are concerned if you want to go for it.
Yep. And okay, before I take some more questions, why you is like asking end of Jaddu in CSK next year?
We were asking ourselves the same question last
Yeah.
year. In fact, I remember we have a whole video out also where we spent like 10-15 minutes discussing last year, and most of us believed it would be the case. I don't know, but I do think he's definitely not happy about a lot of things that are going on there.
Yeah. See, the situation was doused last year because MS Dhoni intervened.
And even Kashi Vishwanathan had to
Yes.
really
Kas-
smooth things over.
Kasi intervened only in the case of Ambati Raidu.
Oh, he definitely intervened in the case
He
of
intervened
Raidu.
in that, and that is why Yes, it is a very strange situation with Jadeja. See, he's been looked at as a future CSK captain.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, then I think you may have to fall back on Rituraj. Or maybe the contingency plan was that's why they got in Ben Stokes.
Yeah, exactly. Ben Stokes will be a short term. I think Rituraj takes over in maybe a couple of years.
Yeah, but you've got to hope, that Jadeja, all is well between Jadeja and CSK, although it doesn't look like it because it's been very, cryptic from both sides.
No, and if I may,
Let's see what happens.
if I may add, I mean, it's been very appalling behavior from the CSK fans. I'll tell you why. Because I agree, you want your hero to come out and do it, but when you get out and you cheer, it doesn't put a player in a good state of mind. I mean, I understand, like, okay, you want to see MS Dhoni. Every single step that MS Dhoni takes, you want it chronicled, you want to feel that moment. And the host broadcasters had done a superb thing on the decibel factor. It never went below 115 decibels whenever MS Dhoni came out.
Yeah.
So I can understand that, but yeah, come on, it can't happen because see, a player performs, he wants to give 101% every single time. When you get out and you cheer for, no.
It's just bad because at that point you'd want that fans a little disappointed that you got out.
Yeah.
You're a key batsman, key player, you have been one for years. And the fans are just cheering because they're getting to see MS. Okay, I get it. But the thing is that it's one thing cheering that MS is coming, but then to be chanting Dhoni Dhoni at him, at Jadeja, that is not MS.
Sorry, yeah.
It's not really great behavior. And truth be told, I think the franchise could have done a bit better to mitigate that. Already, I don't think, by the way, the bridges of last year have been rebuilt that much.
But I don't think you can really control the fans at this point
can't,
because you can't control the fans, and it's just something that you have to kind of live with and just be okay with, because it is a side effect of having a superstar in your team. It's just natural.
Yeah, the likes of RCB,
Yeah.
the likes of MI, CSK, they do face that extremes because see, you got three of the greatest cricketers ever in that respect. You got Rohit Sharma, you got Virat Kohli, you got MS Dhoni. All are legends and who have shaped and who changed cricket forever in India.
In Indian cricket, yes.
So extreme reactions will happen, and Divyansh Devgan is saying yes. Last match of Rituraj of his bachelor life, yes.
Yeah.
But it kind of has started off on a mixed note because Rituraj, I'll tell you why. June 3 was going to get married. June 5 he was expected to join the team in the ICC WTC Final. But Rahul Dravid said no. I want a replacement because I can't get anybody so late at that point in time. That is why Yashasvi Jaiswal has been roped in as a replacement for Rituraj.
But like, quick question, I mean, keeping that in mind, do you think it was a fair call? Because it's not like Rituraj was in the squad anyway, he was a backup player.
He's a backup player, but I think what Dravid wants is all the players, the last lot also, everybody should assemble on 1st or 2nd of June so that they can practice in one go until 6th. He doesn't want to practice in batches. That is the disciplinarian in Rahul Dravid speaking. Because June 5 would have been touch and go.
But he would not have been playing anyway.
Same
He was
with
a contingency.
Yashasvi.
Same with Yashasvi. That's what I'm saying. You could have just let the guy. He was taking 2 days extra. Wouldn't have been that big a deal.
What is it? Shadi or World Test Championship Final?
I can't
In the
comment.
end,
I will be
family.
getting married in the middle of the World Cup.
Of course. So Ajay is like saying, I think Raidu may be doing well today because of his last match. What is your thought, Ajay?
Good
I
job,
hope so.
actually, because he'll be playing without any real pressure now, knowing
Yeah.
fine. That's it.
If Moeen and Ambati fire, then boss, I think CSK have the total unit.
Yes.
Exactly.
Then okay, but there was one more thing.
Scroll up.
Scroll up a bit. Okay. So before we take one more question, I'll again state.
That's the one I think you're looking at.
No, the other one, Abhinav Rakesh. Rituraj, the next captain since Jaddu might anyways leave.
Yeah, but see, Abhinav, you're correct. That might be the thinking, but I think that's why they also brought in Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
Because I think they'll give Ben a couple of years,
Yes.
then go to Rituraj. Because I think they want Rituraj to become like a more consistent batsman. We know he's got all the talent in the world, but there's not been one IPL year that he hasn't been inconsistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
First 2 years it was like second half. Then this year it was like first half, and then kind of it was mixed.
Although he's got a good record against GT.
Yeah, he's done very well against GT. True.
Just one more question before I go this. There's something. I'm just go a bit up, Anurag. Slightly up. Vaibhav Agarwal is asking us. I heard if match gets abandoned, then trophy will be given to the team who is placed at the top of the points table. But this is wrong. The trophy should be shared.
I don't think it's
I don't
really
think so.
wrong.
No. I'm also not a fan of the trophy being shared. If there is a provision You want an outright winner. See, do you remember the 2002 Champions Trophy very memorably?
No.
Simple.
And that, by the way, was a tournament where India did really well.
Exactly.
You don't remember it well because shared trophy.
Yeah, and it's not wrong because Gujarat have been doing well throughout the tournament, and of course, it's not like they're getting it out of luck or something.
Yeah.
They'll be getting it because they performed really well throughout the season. That's why they've got the more points. I think that's enough justification if it comes to that.
Yes.
But then right now we're just hoping for a match.
We are hoping
Even
for
if it's a 5-over shootout.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is the playing conditions taking from the question that is there. What if the trophy, is it going to be shared? No.
No.
So this is the playing conditions.
Yeah.
From 9:40 p.m. before 9:40 p.m. if the match starts, no overs will be reduced. If after 9:40 the match cannot resume, then overs will start to reduce after every 7 or 8 minutes.
Yes.
Your cutoff time for a 5-over game, very important time, note this down, if the rain continues, your cutoff time for a 5-over game is 11:56 p.m. IST.
Oh, it's not that 12:06?
It is 11:56 p.m. So that is the cutoff time. And remember, the match is going to start normally 7 and 7:30 the match will begin.
Yes.
Okay, it's not going to be 8 o'clock. That report is wrong. Your cutoff time for a super over is 12:50 a.m. IST. These are the three timings that you have to be really noting in this: 9:40 p.m., 11:56 p.m. and 12:50 a.m. IST for the super over. If the rain is so persistent that even the super over is not possible, then Gujarat Titans will be crowned the champions, because as Gargi pointed out, that they finished higher in the league table and they were consistent. They were the only team to get to 20 points. CSK got 18, LSG got 17 and Mumbai Indians got 16. That was the way it is. So it's not wrong. You want an outright winner, and yes, you are rewarding league performances for a situation like this also. So why not?
Yeah.
League performances should be rewarded twofold. One, qualification for the playoffs, and whether you have a shot at the title.
Yes.
So that is the way. But now let us forget about the playing conditions. New day again.
New
Chapter
beginnings.
2 IPL 2023. Who holds the edge? Is it MS Dhoni or Hardik Pandya? Gargi, from you.
Ooh, I think CSK might take it if the match happens. That is.
But what if the match happens? Let's assume
then
that the match is happening.
My support is with CSK. I think they have the edge.
And who do you think will be your X factor per player in that?
Ooh, it could very well be Shivam Dube.
Shivam Dube, not a bad shot, because
Yeah.
if there is one player in that CSK team who can clear the long boundaries and tonk the likes of Rashid,
Yes.
Noor, Shivam
Shivam
Dube
Dube.
does have that capability.
Yeah.
So you're going with CSK, and Shivam Dube is going to be your X factor player.
Yes.
Shane, what about you?
See, I think one advantage which GT had was that they had a day's rest
Yeah.
extra going into this final, because I think CSK had what, a one-day turn. No, it was GT who had the one-day turnaround. Now though it's even Stephens.
Yes.
So I would say that GT have one very slight advantage in the sense that it's being played at their home ground. Although I'm not sure about the home support, how much is going to back them, because of course this
Yeah.
is the only factor to consider.
Yep.
But I do also think CSK start favourites.
Yes.
And if there has to be an X factor, Devon Conway.
Okay,
Not a
CSK
bad
is Maplay. Well, there is only one choice for me, and that is MS Dhoni. CSK joining the Mumbai Indians as the 5-time champions. I truly believe that can happen. But remember, getting the better of this GT team is going to be the toughest
difficult.
task yet.
Yeah.
Because you look at the middle order, you look at the
Bowlers.
you look at the top order, and especially the Shubman Gill factor. Remember, 123 runs away from breaking the Kings record.
No.
Although-
You get that.
Although centuries in IPL finals have been very, very rare. Only
Yeah.
2 centuries.
Very rare.
One that Ridhiman Saha made
On a
against,
losing cause, yeah.
in a losing cause. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Because KKR are playing inspired cricket in 2014.
Yeah.
Second half of the season.
Yes. And then you had Watto, Whistlepodu Watto, indeed 117, where he took apart Rashid Khan. And CSK won on their comeback. So great feats there. So today Shubman Gill can do it and give GT the title. Man, oh man. They would have achieved the Grand Slam. What is the Grand Slam? Title, orange cap, purple cap. Orange cap is certified, purple cap is also certified, but who among Shami, Rashid or Mohit will get it, we don't know yet. So it's going to be very, very interesting. So three people backing CSK, or it's a full house, or two people backing CSK?
I'm still going. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I'm giving it a very even Stevens match because I would have backed CSK if it had to be just for that one. The match started yesterday because they'd have been the fresher team.
Yes.
But right now, very even Stevens.
Yep.
Also, by the way, today's game, one thing no one is talking about. That toss is going to be ultra important.
Yeah.
You don't know
For
what kind
sure.
of conditions you're going to get. I would rather put the opposition
Batting
into bat.
Yeah.
So you go bat, figure it out, then we'll figure everything out.
Although out of the 4 titles that CSK won, 3 have come while defending. 2010 they defended against Mumbai Indians. 2011 they defended against RCB.
And 2021?
2018 they chased. 2021 against KKR they defended. So, but yes, as in addition to the point, the weather.
Yeah.
A DLS method chase might necessarily not be very, very important. It may not suit CSK.
Yeah.
And Dhoni's not been a fan of DLS method chases. So it's going to be very, very, 50-50. It's going to be a titanic tussle provided the rain stays away.
Can we be fans of a method we don't even understand? Let's be fair. Whatever DLS tells us, we just believe.
Yeah.
Like, they've said, "Acha, itne mein these many overs, fine."
If you are South African, you will never believe it.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
true.
Because-
Was DLS around at that point?
Duckworth Lewis was there.
No, that
They faced the worst of the both, rain rule and DLS.
rain rule was bad.
Yeah. 22 needed of 7, 21 of 1.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate farce. Then when Boucher defended, the Duckworth Lewis method was there.
Right.
Then they haven't had any, you may say, wrong decisions in the DLS era because Stern took over as the caretaker after, I think, in 2017 or something. They have not had any kind of chokes at that point in time, but it's only a matter of time. Any other further questions, Anurag? Scroll down.
Take a couple more.
Okay. Okay. Mukul Kamboj is like saying, I think GT will completely collapse like in Q1. If Q1 minus Rashid Khan runs GT all out under 140.
Well, that's a big shout.
Although Mukul, I will just say CSK were a bit lucky because GT actually played the wrong batting order. You got a finisher batting in at number 3, you got a anchor batting in at number 6. That is where they messed it up.
True.
So that is why it will not be, see, they know the mistake. This GT team rectifies their mistakes very, very quickly.
True.
So that is why. Okay, Meet Sony is like asking me something. Can you just go down?
Let's scroll down slightly.
Okay.
There we go.
So that's our MS Dhoni last international on reserve day 29. Today might be last match on reserve day. We had pointed it out. And behind you, I see there are GT and CSK. So please wear GT.
She's asking me to wear GT and you to wear the CSK one.
I don't need
obviously.
to wear a jersey. I am forever and ever CSK minus the jersey also. So that's gonna happen. But Berlin Tokyo is not agreeing.
See,
So neither is Vibhu Mishra for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, see, it's not enough. It is enough justification, but also the point that he's saying that if the standings are the criteria, why can't they give the trophy to leaders than conducting playoffs? That's not the case here, na. We're at a very crunch situation where something, something out of our control is happening. There's rain on the play, and that's why there are these rules for a reason, that if the matches cannot be happening, of course, hosting a match is the first criteria.
Yep.
But
And
since that's not happening, then that's the best case scenario that can happen out
It's
of
the
it.
best out of the worst case scenario.
Yeah,
remember,
best out of the worst case scenario.
Let me
yes.
even sum up Gargi's point even more. You remember the 2013 Champions Trophy final? India versus England? That was also in danger of being washed out.
It was
And
basically a
remember-
2020 match.
Yes, and remember, there was no reserve day. The ICC had to bend their own rules and say, okay, one more additional hour.
Yes.
Luckily, the rain relented in Edgbaston. Otherwise, for the second consecutive time, India would have been sharing
Sharing
the
the
trophy.
trophy.
Now, in this case, would you have remembered that? You would have all said, oh, let us scrap the Champions Trophy experiment. It's no use. It's a failure. Let's not have that. But then, India won it. MS Dhoni completed his captaincy Grand Slam. 2007 World T20, 2011 World Cup, 2013 Champions Trophy. Who is the only captain to win all 3 of them?
MS.
Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So, you have to understand that if it's rain, you can't help it. The playing conditions, you at least have a reserve day.
Yeah.
previous IPL finals and all in 2008, 9, 10, they didn't have a reserve day. So at least you're going to get a winner.
Yes.
And if it's no winner, at least a super over until 12:50.
Correct.
So that is the way. I know it may be unfair for some teams, some fans, but
It's
Yeah.
underwhelming. I agree. I get the point because if you are, again, as he's saying, if it's just a league, then you give it over to the league. But if you're having a playoff to kind of put some excitement, ideally you want that final to take place, even if it's shortened. But this is also an absolute worst case scenario wherein you're saying, look, there is not even a 5-over shootout or even a super over possible.
yeah.
Nothing.
what I will just say is, if you have the foresight of upgrading of the stadium, build an indoor stadium.
Yeah.
Then that eliminates your rain threat, come what may.
Yeah.
But that's a debate for another time.
Another day, because right now we are seeing the upgradation of the stadiums. The RCB fans are not happy with the way the Chinnaswamy is. It's now looking barren because they have got to upgrade the stadium for the World Cup, and Chinnaswamy is definitely one of the hosts of one of the key matches that will happen. Chepauk is also. Delhi also will host. We'll all come to know about your World Cup schedule after the end of the WTC Final.
Right.
Today we may have a decision on the Asia Cup, so let's see what happens on that. So, any other further questions?
Otherwise,
Anurag?
we can.
we can
This is
gear
go
up and live visuals. Live visuals.
There's
it's
no rain?
clear
So far, fingers
so
crossed.
far.
Although it doesn't look very sunny to me.
But maybe
Right now.
because the stadium is so huge that the sun might be anyway blocked
No,
down.
but the color difference
To be
it
fair,
looks
it's really
very
6
grey.
o'clock. I mean,
it's
Yeah.
6.
it's really 6
yeah,
o'clock.
it's-
There would be no sun. It's fine. Let's
Yeah.
just keep our, you know.
Yeah, Dex has a very important message for both you and Shane.
Valid point.
Don't underestimate David Andrew Miller.
Yeah, he's barely gotten a chance to shine this year, but he was one of the key members of their title win last year. Not
Yeah.
underestimating him at all.
Nope.
Yep. Abhinav Gupta, why not organize in day if there were chances of rain today? But yeah, it is practically it makes sense. But I think Abhinav already the broadcast timings and all that.
Has been determined
Decided,
beforehand.
yeah.
You cannot play an IPL at 9:30 or 10 a.m. in the morning in India. That isn't peak viewership. Peak viewership is around 7:30.
Yes.
And that's the way it is. You cannot escape that factor. So that is the
That's
thing that we have. We hope the rain stays away. We hope we get play today. Please, no more rain.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I have picked CSK. Obviously, Gargi's picked CSK with Shivam Dubey being the X Factor player.
I'm on the fence.
You're 50-50, and I don't blame you because it's. If Chennai lose to Gujarat Titans, it will be. You won't say, "Oh, what a bad loss," because
Exactly.
they are a great team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And they can join. If GT win today, they can become the third team after MI and CSK to win back-to-back titles.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If Chennai win, they join Mumbai Indians and Dhoni's G.O.A.T legacy is sealed.
Yes. Goat.
Go.
Good for IPL or in general? In general, it's already pretty much sealed.
It's
Yeah.
no. I'm saying it will now be enhanced with another layer of
that's fair.
concrete.
Yeah. Enhanced is fair.
Yeah.
Enhanced. It'll be enhanced and no more discussions then.
Yes.
Yep, fans are cheering, and yes, the weather is great at this point in time. No rain, hopefully. From me, Gargi, and Shane, it's bye bye. See you in the IPL final. We will have a winner today.
Yes.
Bye bye.